I want you to tell me about the story when you were wearing gloves to change your baby. What is that about? We're jumping right in.
Okay, we are. And you know what? This is supposed to be a no judgment zone. I need you to no judge me, friend.
And we judge.
No judgment, friend. Don't judge me, okay? So maybe I'm a germaphobe a little bit. Am I that way with my... Am I that way with my child? Not necessarily, right? When you're a parent, it's a little bit different. You keep going. I know. It's a little bit different as a parent, right? I wipe up all the stuff. Like, I'm doing everything but what, old school stuff where they're like taking the snot out with their mouth kind of a thing, whereas like your grandparents or parents said that they did that to get snot out your nose. Gross. Not doing that.
They didn't do that. What they did was, if your nose was, because I've done this to Maya. What I've done this to Maya. So what I've done is I've put my mouth on top of hers, made sure everything was open, and blown into her mouth like upwards, not downwards, and the snot just came flying. And it did come on my lips. So you're right. Go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. So not doing that. I'll have her blow. Just blow. Like
okay.
that.
I'm sorry I interrupted you. Continue.
So when my daughter was an infant, for people who have newborns, there, some of the things that they give you as far as like for kids, I can't remember what it's called, but it's something where they can get some type of virus where it makes them have the runs and vomit, things of that nature. So they give them this little like drops or something to counteract it so that they don't get it. And they say because it's active, right, it's going to run through them. Just make sure that you wash your hands frequently, if you touch it, because it's common for adults to be able to contract it because of the fact that, touching or not,
like
washing your hands.
Like a parasite or a worm or something.
It's something that, kind of runs through them. And so they're like, and the parents can get it. And so we were freaked out about it. So I just bought some gloves, right? I come from a medical household, first of all. So I just went and bought some gloves off of Amazon. And so that way we can just make sure, right? Because I don't know if, like, what if I did a quick hand wash kind of a situation and didn't realize that it wasn't full? What if there was still, something from her urine? I don't know. So
from
I was like,
little germaphobe. Yeah. Just a little bit.
So yeah, we bought gloves, went well. So that's when we started cleaning her with the gloves. And that was when she was an infant. My daughter is 4. And I still have a regular rotation
of gloves
for
when you wipe her bottom.
Automatic for when I wipe her bottom. Only on number 2s, only on BMs now. BMs now is when we use it. And the funny thing is, it's so sad, but it's so cute. Is the fact that, I help her just to make sure she gets a nice clean wipe
when she is tushy.
A nice good tushy when she is using the restroom for BM. So she calls for me and I run up the stairs. I'm like, I'm coming. And so I grab gloves and I wipe her bottom.
I'm coming. Let me just grab the gloves first, sweetheart.
I was just like, are you done? She said yes. And I was like, let me get some wipes. And she's like, don't forget the gloves.
Oh, that is cute.
She does. So I do get the gloves. So I have noticed sometimes when she hadn't called for me and it's taken a while for her when she had to go use the restroom. And I'm like, you okay? She's like, yes. And I just see a cute baby bottom walking back into the bathroom, and she had got on her step stool to get wipes off of her dresser and had a glove because she was using a glove for herself.
Because it's learned behavior from her crazy ass mama.
Her
loving
mother may have done that. But yes, now she wipes her own bum with a glove. If you see like this huge glove on this little baby hand, it's so cute.
It's because she's going to wipe her butt
with a glove. She will only see that as a normalcy moving forward. So do I. I don't see what the issue.
Does it make you crazy because you're wiping your child with a glove, or does it make me dirty? Because I'm just like, all right, let's get in here and let's wipe your butt. I thought we listened and we don't judge.
Well, no, I think everybody has their own thing, right? I think, am I being obsessive?
Yes.
Possibly.
Yes.
I think it's out of habit, and I'm a creature of habit. And I try to be mindful of my habits too, that it isn't, and how, it can be influential to my daughter. That one, I have no qualms with. I'm sorry. Baby
I just had a really dirty thought.
What is that? I'm going to see if they got baby gloves. Do they have baby gloves out there? Because that's all I'm thinking about.
This.
No?
Oh my goodness, I need help.
That's okay. We're here in a safe space. You're amongst friends. Share.
No, but what I thought is just awful.
What's that?
Because I don't know if I should share this. We can always delete this if we
Share. I'm so intrigued now.
No, I'm just thinking like. So that's just an insight into my psyche of how I think about things.
Like forward thinking of like what that'll be like.
Yeah, when they older, because you gonna tell me my baby can't get laid, like my sweet, sweet son that doesn't exist. But that is an insight into my mind, into my psyche, and I'm so sorry. We should probably delete all of that.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe she gets someone who's into it.
Maybe my unborn son will love your daughter's glove, and then we have a match made in heaven, and then I won't get pushed out the gene pool. I talk about that all the time. Have you ever heard me say that?
No.
So, I have biracial kids.
Yeah.
And so it depends on who they're dating. So if they date a black male, I'm still in the gene pool. The kids are still going to be more.
Well, those kids.
But if my
look
girls
just like 'em.
dates, I know they look just like him.
They look just like him.
But they
You're
got
already
some
out.
melanin. But if they marry someone white, and then it continues on, I get pushed out the gene pool, and then maybe generations later, somebody come out dark, and they're like, oh yeah, my great grandma was black, because the genes are still in there.
Of course.
But it's like, so I joke around about that. So yeah, if your daughter married my pretend made up son, I won't get pushed out the gene
No,
pool.
you'll be fine. You know what you could do? Your daughter's just marry maybe someone of Latin descent.
I'm not opposed
Then
to
both
it.
of you are out. I'm saying that's a good compromise.
There we go. We both get kicked out, or we can find somebody. The world is changing. There's a lot of. Ooh, I can't say that.
Nope.
There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of biracial kids in the world. I can say whatever. I can call them whatever I want.
Yeah,
They got
there's a
cut
lot
out
of
my
mixed
belly.
race kids out there.
There are a lot of mixed race kids out there.
And in families, just in general, my family themselves are mixed race, so it's a lot, and it just depends. So funny story, my mom and father, which is always funny. I think I shared on the last episode that I'm one of three. Both my parents are like fair skin, and me, my brother, and my sister are all darker.
Do you not believe you're fair skin?
No, I don't. We're not going to colorism today.
Oh, well, there is no colorism. There's just fact of the matter.
I know what a fact is, and I'm a brown girl.
Oh, it looks like you're getting a little defensive there, so
not.
we're going to move on.
It's because
from this
I'm hot.
conversation. You don't take your hotness out on me. I don't deserve
know.
any of this.
I'm sorry. It's because of my medicine.
How
Sorry.
have
I
you
told
been-
you guys I have ADD, so I took my Vyvanse today, and it makes me like more aggressive, but it also like makes me sweat a lot too. I don't know if you guys have had that.
So Vyvanse is a stimulant. So what it does is it can make you aggressive. It makes you very not short-tempered, but
it makes me short.
yeah. So the things that normally that wouldn't bother you, that you can like work through and be patient, it's like yeah.
And I have to find myself at times to reel it back when I am speaking to my daughter. You know how frustrating toddlers can be,
but
right?
still.
If they do something, they're just like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." It's just like, let's go,
Yeah.
honey bunches of oats. Mommy loves you.
Mommy loves you.
Just
but no.
listen to me.
Well, just listen so I can
Yeah.
love you even more. But no, when I was, what year was this? I couldn't tell you what years it was because I have no idea how old I am. But when I was in college, I was on Vyvanse. I was on Focalin at the time, and it made me twitch. It was a little bit too much for me. And so I started seeing one of the behavioral health specialists in college, and they put me on Vyvanse. And I really liked Vyvanse because I couldn't feel it coming on, and it didn't stop me in my tracks. I didn't feel like I became a zombie like once the medicine kicked in, because ADD wasn't my issue. It was HD. It was more hyperactive for me.
Okay.
And so when the medicine kicked in, I just stopped. And that's how I knew it was working, because normally it's like a negative feedback thing. So usually when you take it, it's a stimulant. It's supposed to speed you up. For me, it slowed me down. So for ADHD, that neuron that fires that's supposed to tell you to calm down and relax, it's not firing. It's weak. But instead of it being able to hone in on that one neuron, it hits all of them. So it fires all your synapses. So even that neuron that's supposed to be like patience, tells you to just relax, that's firing. It's not doing that. It's just like go, 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 go. But Vyvanse, out of all the medicines, Concerta, Strattera, whatever patch, Focalin, all of that.
It was a non-stimulant, and it was just like one of those, the things that you have to do as far as when they're getting ready to start you. They always start you on that non-stimulant, and then they bring you
They
to a
push you
low
through.
dose of something else. I can't remember what was the second dose or the second medication that they got me on when they were first starting. And then the next one was Vyvanse. And I was just like, ooh, this is
So you've
pure.
been on Vyvanse for a while then.
I've been on Vyvanse for over 10 years, probably
Have you been
17
reevaluated
years
as an adult?
More than that. I have, unfortunately. And that's only because of the fact that when I've moved different cities, I have to
You have to find someone new.
find someone new, and they all want to do their own retesting.
As they should. As they should, because
But I've
went
had
through
that
too.
I've had the issue when I'm even just switching doctors, and it could be in the same network, and they're just like, oh, I need to redo it. But you have all of my paperwork. So then it's frustrating
doesn't
for me
matter.
because I'm just trying to get my refill at that time, but also being cognizant of the fact of, let me make sure that I don't come off as aggressive or,
Like, I just want my meds, give it to me kind of
I
thing
want my
before they
meds to
look
give it
at
to
you
you.
like,
So then
what?
they're just like, let's dial that back. Let's make sure that this isn't someone who could abuse the medication. And so it becomes really frustrating for me, especially when it's something that I need. I've been on and it's just a refill, or either it's, I got handed off to a new doctor and it's just
But
like,
you understand why they have to, right?
well, the thing is if I'm handed off to a new doctor within the same practice, that's
the
an
same
issue.
practice or the same
Same
network?
practice.
Because you went to a different state.
Practice. My doctor left and went to a completely different practice. Like, she was no longer within their branch, like within the medical group. She moved to another one. So they moved me to someone else who wanted to do the same thing. The thing is, it should have been continuity between the two of them because it's within the same stage. And then they
get
wanted me to
that.
do extra testing, which I wasn't okay with because it's just like, I've been on this for, we could probably say 20 years that I've been on Vyvanse. And for me, Vyvanse is blue magic. You know what I mean? It ain't cut up. It ain't no red dragon. It ain't none of that, right? For people who wanted to know, that's like American Gangster, right? The reference that I'm taking of is pure cocaína for me.
Here we go.
Yes, I said it. So,
But no, you have to realize why they do it. So let's say you get someone's statements. Let's say, I know it's apples to oranges here, accounting, the medical field, whatever. But let's say you get someone's statement, you get someone gives you money, and then they're like, it's all there. You don't have to recount it. But then you end up recounting it anyway
always
down the
recount.
line. Exactly. You always recount. So this is another doctor putting your brain in their hands. They're not just going to go off what someone else wrote on the paper. They're recounting because if something goes wrong, that's their ass on the line. So it's more CYA. But then also, if you get a doctor who doesn't care, you should stop going to them right away because they haven't done their due diligence to make sure they're assigning their name to the prescription. And they know 100% that you need that. So whenever I switch to a new doctor, if they didn't reevaluate me, if they just took my paperwork, was like, all right, let's go, I was out of there. And another reason I asked if you got reevaluated as an adult, because I got diagnosed when I was like 9. I was 9 years old when I got diagnosed. And then that was it. I was just on it. They just took it and just gave it to me. I got reevaluated as an adult, I want to say maybe 5 years ago, probably 6. And it was textbook. It was there. It was that. But when I went home, like to visit as an adult, maybe by the time when I moved to Philly, that was probably like 2015. When I went home and looked through like paperwork, I was helping my mom clean out some stuff. I saw my previous evaluation and my paperwork. My mom took me about 4 doctors. 3 of them said no, she did not have ADHD. She's just young. She's just rambunctious, energetic, and it may be, I think, DO or OD, oppositional disorder, something like that. My stepfather had just moved into the house. So things were weird. There was one doctor that said, yeah, she's borderline, we can see it. And my mom ran with that. So when I finally saw that, I was like, I need to be reevaluated because I really don't know. Maybe I was just very energetic and my mother couldn't handle me because my mom is very shy, very introverted, very calm, doesn't do small talk, anything. She's just a very timid woman.
I get it.
And yes, I know you've met her. But no, I'm joking. But no, and I'm like my father, and I love my mother too, but I'm more like my father, very energetic, very life of the party, very extroverted person. I think that I was probably too much for her. But then when I took the medicine, it did slow me down. So that shows that there was something there. And so I choose to look at it as, okay, my mother knew her child, knew something was wrong. But I do believe that any doctor you see, they should reevaluate you. You should get reevaluated every so often. But like I told you before, I stopped taking the medicine about 3 years ago. I stopped taking it and I started microdosing. The microdosing for the mushroom the psilocybin has really changed my life. Changed my life completely. And I will never go back because of the side effects. But you got to do what's best for you. Because some people they won't put anything that's psychedelic in their system whatsoever, whether it's a microdose or not. But I love that. The anger, the shortness, like the quick to violence isn't there because it was literally jeopardizing my marriage. Well, I wasn't married at the time. My relationship.
Yeah. No, for me, it wasn't necessarily keeping me hyper because I'm a pretty chill person for the most part.
You don't have the HD. It's the ADD for
I know.
you.
And I'll be honest with you, I hate it when they changed it to ADHD, like just all encompassing everything.
Oh, they've changed it?
Yeah, so it's not ADD anymore.
wow.
They changed it maybe 10 years ago to where they, that they changed it to just ADHD. And I don't know, maybe it's just like a semantic type of situation for me, but I didn't like it because I didn't like being referred to having hyper. I know it could be either hyper or hypo is what it's more focused on. But for me, I was already a chill person. It was just more so the focusing part of it. And you know that from us being friends, as far as like how easily distracted I can be, right? How easily it is for me to go on tangents. You guys have probably noticed that. If you just see me rambling on, you're like, she's not on it.
Y'all see me go. Yeah. Bring it back, Shane.
Bring it back,
Shane.
But yeah, it just makes me more focused, and I have seen the difference of being on it and being off it. I would typically use it during work weeks, right? Like during the work week is when I would use it, not on Fridays unless it was something like a project or something I needed to be focused in on, and I never took it on weekends unless it was something that I needed to have that focus and that attention on, like kids' birthdays are just like things that were important, but for the most part, no, I wouldn't use it on weekends because I wanted to make sure that I could be a friendlier person.
I tried that. I tried not taking it on weekends and just during the school week or whatever I need to do the work week when I was younger. So it was the school week. When I did not have it, I felt weak and lethargic. And it was because those neurons were firing so much that when you didn't have the medicine, they were tired. That's what I equated it to.
Oh, yeah.
And when the weekend came, I was just, and then I was ravenous. I was just so hungry to the point, I just kept eating to the point I felt sick. So it's like, and so to keep myself from having keep myself from having to feel that, what is it, lethargy? that tiredness or that ravenous feeling of being hungry, that fatigue, thank you, from having to feel that, I just started taking it on the weekend. So I took it Monday through Sunday. Like,
which I know a lot of people do.
Yeah, but when they first put you on there, they're like, you don't have to take it on weekends. And I think they know that.
I never got that message.
Yes.
They were telling me to take it consistent, and then I told them that I wouldn't. And then even for every doctor that I do meet with, I always share that, I only take it during a week. I don't take it on the weekends. And because of the fact that I know what works for me, and they believe that I do because I've been on it for over, like 20 years. They're just like, that's totally fine if that's what works for you. It's just the coming down part. Sometimes it does give me the insomnia if I've kind of gotten really into a groove, and I can, especially like with work or things like that, or like task in general. And then next thing you know, it's like 2:00 in the morning and I'm like,
yes, the insomnia. So I remember my doctor's like, don't take it after 9. If you need to, take it first thing when you wake up.
Never after 9. I tell people that all the time.
If I take it first thing when I wake up, by the time I'm done getting dressed and sit down at the breakfast table, my appetite was gone. And so I always
do breakfast.
Very
not really.
small.
But yeah, I would try to take it like at 8. And then eat on it when I take it, because typically I wasn't a breakfast person prior, or even if I'm not on it, I'm not a breakfast person. But I make myself do that because most of the time I always work through lunch, just because I don't like lunch hour and it's easier to get things done. And then I'll maybe eat something at like 2 or 3 kind of a situation. But I felt once I did eat something around lunchtime, it would bring me down off of it. And I wanted to keep that
feeling,
that high of being able to stay focused going. I wanted to keep that energy going.
I get it. So I get it. I remember one time someone asked me, tell me about yourself. Well, who are you? And I would just ran off. I'm like, I'm very organized. I take the initiative. I'm type A. I have everything set up. I'm a planner. I blah, 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 blah. And then when I was off of it, someone asked me again, like just a totally different person, just totally random. And I had no clue. It's like I couldn't answer. I didn't know. I'm like, I feel like I've become just completely unorganized, just out of nowhere. I have no drive. I have nothing. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, I was on medicine then. Now I'm like, who am I? Who am I? Was I really this person who's organized and like things a certain way? Or was that the medication that did that? Or like, am I still that person? I just don't have that medicine in there, that stimulant pushing me to go. So I wonder, and I would have still been on it if like the irritant, the irritation, the side effect of it didn't have an effect on me and Matt when we were dating.
Yeah.
So I went off of it, and then I ended up going back on maybe a year or 2 after, because I realized I still needed it, and I stopped because the boy I liked wanted me to, because he didn't like it. He didn't believe in the medication. He didn't like that I wasn't eating. And he was like, you're just mean all the time. And he was like, I noticed when you take it, you're mean. And so I stopped taking it for him. And I didn't like that. So I was like, I'm not that girl. I don't do something just because a boy doesn't like it. So I got on. So then I got reevaluated. I can't even talk for the Bible. I got reevaluated as an adult, and then went back on because I felt as though I still needed it, until I found a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, a psychologist I started seeing, who opened my eyes to different avenues to be able to reset your baseline with the microdosing so I could get off it. But he was very biased too. He didn't like it. He was a hippie. But it was different when he said it versus my boyfriend, at the time. So yeah. So that's my story on it.
On the ADD, yeah.
Yeah. No. You got ADD. I got ADHD.
Yes.
Okay. I am the
they
life of the
put
party. You just don't remember the date of the party.
I don't. And I'm just like, it is tomorrow. Yes.
Sure, let me check my
See
calendar.
you there.
But yeah, so I think it helps, like, for us, we always have to write things down.
Yeah.
We always have to write things
Absolutely.
down no matter what's going on. It's like, oh, I'm going to remember. I'm not.
That's why I make those notes, right? So I'm just like random things that pop into my head, like in the middle of the night, and I'll like jot it down within like my iNotes or things like that. And the funny part where you're talking about kind of what your behavior is like when you were on the medication and what it was for me, I think of it and relate it to my husband on Mondays, right? If because of how he's in like super work mode on Mondays and in his man room office, and it's funny because I think I may have said like, or I tell you, and I was just like, ooh, it's Monday Victor, can't talk to Monday Victor. Like it's one of those conversations where me and him will only like converse in text messages, and we can be just a floor.
Yeah, I'm like,
just
what is going on?
Yeah, she'll ask me, she's like, oh, do you guys want to do that? I was like, oh, let me text Victor. I was just like, just know I won't be able to answer you until after the workday and maybe 8 p.m. So if I just text you at 10 o'clock, you don't have to respond. I'm just letting you know that's when I've gotten a response from him.
When you told me that shit, I was like, girl, I would have bust down that door. Like, oh, really? We're setting this thing on fire.
Do you want to know? I'm going to tell you guys.
Oh, shit.
You're going to know a lot about my husband. Here it is.
Let's take note of the time we're at right now, just in case. No,
it's going to be quick.
No. In case you want to cut this out. In case you want to cut this out.
Yes. You said to bust down the door.
Oh, shit.
He has bought off of Amazon. Love Amazon. You want to sponsor a sign for his man room door office that switches from red to green for me and my daughter, so that it says you can enter and do not disturb. And
that is a boundary. That is a
he put that on the door, and I was just like, what is this? So I knocked it off.
Good job.
Okay.
Good
I was
for
like,
you.
how dare you?
So
and he was
proud
just
of you.
like, but the worst part is this baby, my sweet girl, she was like, oh no, we can't go in, mommy. Daddy has it on red. That means do not disturb.
But that's okay.
I mean, it makes sense, but also I was just like, how dare you?
It does. How dare you,
How
for sure.
dare
But
you?
it does make sense. It's like me with the hatch with the girls, because I don't allow babies sleeping with me. No one is in my room, in my bed. You have your own room. You have your own bed. Here's this hatch machine, this sound machine.
Yeah.
Big ups to Hatch. That it changes colors. So they know at nighttime when it's a certain, like when the sound machine's on,
means
it's
you can
playing
come out
like
of the
their
room.
lullabies. It turns orange. Oh shoot, it's time to go to sleep. Let's start winding down. In the morning when it turns blue and the little birdies go off, tweet, 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 tweet. Oh, I can get up and open my door. But with that being said, like, not training, but getting them used to it. I mean, training, but getting them used to it. They didn't care about that. They were like, I'm getting up. So I have gates in front of their rooms too. So I understand the boundary line that Victor is drawing, and I get it 100%. And it's a great thing. It's hilarious. It's typical Vic. Fuck that. I'm coming in. Like Matt moved his office from in the house to a different location because he was like, you come in whenever you want. I can. It's my fucking house.
Yeah.
And you're my husband. I'm going to interrupt you. He's like, but I need to get stuff done. But if you go away, I can't bother you.
I can't mess with you.
But that's the thing. That is what he's doing. And that is typical Victor.
Yes,
and
it is. Doesn't
hilarious.
it make sense? Yeah, he does.
Hilarious.
So she'll know that. I've even seen times where she's gotten her little chair from her room and heard him on the phone, and will go up to the door and like move it to red for him. I know, she's
Aw,
the
that's
sweetest
so
girl.
cute. So if she can understand that color, that understand that red means no and green's like you can enter, why don't you get her hatched to see if it'll keep her in her room? Because
We
does
have a
does she leave her room?
I knew you were going to bring it up. Yeah, she has a hatch, and hers is on violet or dark. Violet or either a lighter purple, sometimes blue in the evening. Yeah, and
But she understands what those colors mean.
well, here's the thing.
Oh. Does she understand what those colors mean?
Here's the thing. She chooses her colors, right? And she knows how to turn it on and turn it off and to change it.
Do you know how to lock it so she can't touch it and change it?
The colors?
Yeah, any of it.
No, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to show me after this.
Yes,
in
but
the
no,
app.
does she know what the colors mean? Have you said
knows
it and
what-
say like,
so no, we
just like
haven't-
Daddy's office, this means this?
No, so here we are. So when I had a child, there's one thing that I value most.
Story time.
Say it again. Third time?
Nope.
I didn't hear you. There's one thing that I value most in life other than my family is sleep.
Yep.
I love my sleep. I need my sleep to recharge. Like, it's my thing. Like, since I was a kid, I used to sleep until 12. And let me tell you, my mom, I remember being in high school and my mother would tell me, like, it's a weekend. And I would wake up at like 11 o'clock and she would be like, you're either on drugs or you're pregnant. So which one is it?
Oh,
And it's
Jesus.
just like, I think I'm just a teenager who doesn't have to wake up at 6 o'clock to catch the bus for school at 6:30. And so that's all. I mean, she used to throw like holy water and like oil on my forehead, like pray over me. Yes, because I would sleep in. Yes, I swear to you. She was a little extreme with it. It was hilarious. And I was just like, what are you doing? Leave me alone.
That's frightening.
Yeah, but bringing it back. So I knew when we had a child that I heard stories about co-sleeping and what that can do, because there, people would say like, once you get them in the bed, they'll never leave. So I made certain that she never slept in a bed. I think our daughter, when she was a baby, slept in our bed maybe twice. Any other time she was in a bassinet, or either we would put her in her room, even when she was an infant at that point in time, and just like watch her on the monitor. So that's always, so I can't understand. My daughter comes in, she wakes up like clockwork at like 12:30 or 1, and will bring her pillow and her little stuffed rabbit and will throw her pillow over me on the bed. And it was just like, and pull on the bed like, oh, move over. She doesn't say move over, but pretty much
roll
and I literally, it's just automatic.
roll
I just,
over.
I move up so she can get behind me, and I put her pillow down. And then of course she sneaks up next to me, like
Mistake
snuggles
right
up.
there. Don't even let her get comfortable. Take that pillow, that bunny, and her, and
go
walk
back to
them
your
all
room?
3 of them little asses back.
Well,
to
if
the
I
room.
do that, then I have to sleep in the chair, which
No, you
I've
don't.
done
You
plenty
do
of
not.
times.
You do
but
not.
You'll be so proud. Well, minus the fact that last week, my husband was away for work, and so she did hop in a bed. And sometimes I'm okay with that because it makes me feel safe.
Yeah,
and
get
close
that.
to her. And I didn't eat. I had forgotten to eat dinner, I think, at that point in time. And we were in the bed, and my stomach was growling. And she was so sweet. So she was like rubbing on my tummy, but she always rubs my chest like it's my tummy. I'm just like, okay, it's my tummy's here. So she's like, Mommy, are you okay? And then I'm just like, and I'm like, I'm okay. She's like, is your tummy okay? Your tummy hurt?
Isn't that the sweetest?
I
Does she
know.
offer your tummy a Band-Aid?
No. Oh, that's so sweet.
My baby's offer, if I make any noise or if I go, oh, that hurts. You need a Band-Aid, a Band-Aid, mommy.
Oh,
Mommy, you
I
need,
love that.
Mimi, you want a Band-Aid?
Oh, I know who Mimi.
But you didn't eat. And she was like, what's that?
I know.
Something
So
right?
then it kept going. And I think she got annoyed after a while. She was just like, okay,
Even
this
more
is
reason
enough.
to get in your own goddamn bed.
Yeah, she was like, this is enough. She's like, ugh, you sure you're okay? Yeah. It went from, are you okay, to, are you sure you're okay? It's happening a lot now.
It's still happening,
I'm trying to sleep. I have school in the morning.
So, oh,
So that
the
was it. But yeah,
disrespect.
but you'll be so proud. It has been 5 days
In a row?
In a row
Okay.
that she has slept in her bed in her room.
woo, let's get some
Yes.
applause.
I know, it's so great. And she'd be like,
Yay.
Mommy, I slept in my bed. I was like, I'm so proud of you. It was one day, I think it was Friday, where she woke up on her own and already started to make her bed. So she was like ready to go. So I
Oh,
love
she
that.
makes her bed. I love
yeah.
it.
Oh no, we try to make her as independent as possible. Yeah, she makes her own bed. She'll start brushing her teeth. Like, she knows to go potty, things like that.
Yeah.
And she, I don't let her put her clothes on because I just like to do that after we brush our teeth. But she'll start to do that type of thing. But yeah. So she does it. Yeah.
And I want to caveat. I want you to know that I am not being judgmental or saying that fix your fucking face. Not being judgmental or saying like I know it all. My baby's sleeping in their bed. It is not that. I know plenty of parents who are like it's so much easier to just throw them in there. And there have been times where I'm just like, you know what, just let them stay in here. It's mainly when they're sick and I'm scared that they're gonna go into a coma.
Yeah.
But I get that. It's not one size fits all. Everyone has their own things and you know your kid. And sometimes it's easier just to do it. But I have a strong belief in short-term solution creates a long-term problem.
I agree.
And I say that because I'm like, let me help you. But at the same time, sometimes you may not even want my advice. Sometimes people don't want advice. Sometimes people don't want to be helped. They just want to vent and let you know that this shit sucks and then go out later. So I'm sorry if it seemed as though I was trying to fix it or fix you. No, I just want to say that because sometimes it feels that way and that is not it.
Well, no. And I think, people can offer their advice or their suggestions. I think as parents, right, I think that's what we need to have, the safe space between moms and even just parents in general, right, where we can share kind of some of our successes or tips and tricks that we've done for our kids. And I appreciate that. I think it's because, especially when she was a lot younger, because it was just like, what do we do? Right? It was COVID.
Well, it's your first.
Right? It was the first, but it's just like, what do we do? I've read the books. I've done the classes online and it's just like, it's totally different when I'm there. I didn't have my family to be there or like a mom or my grandma to be like, here are the things that you need to do. Let me take her. It was just like, what do we do? And then my husband wasn't necessarily someone who had experience with young children or children just in general. So for anything, it just relied heavily on me to be able to be that, which is fine because I had nieces and nephews who were younger when I was in high school, right? I did some babysitting here and there. And then of course helped, with my nephew when he was super young, but it's totally different when you have your own child. It's just like, what am I doing? I remember I even asked, her dentist, when we first went on the first visit to the pediatric dentist, he was like, oh, I don't know what the fuck to do. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing with my own kid. I can't help you.
Oh, shit. Well, at least he's honest. At least he's honest.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing. When we were out for ice cream just recently, for burgers and ice cream, like Victor actually opened up. He was like, it's just hard for me to, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to her. I don't know how to be this way because it's like, I talk to adults for a living. Like this is what I do. But then this little beautiful being, it's like, I don't want to say the wrong thing and hurt her. But it's like, as I told him, like, it is a learning curve for us all. Like it's easier for me to say this because like I have 2 kids, you guys have 1. But the second one, that little thing is nothing like the first. Nothing. Yes. And I thought I had it all figured out. We got this going. We're going to be great for the second one. No, she's completely opposite. Literally the exact opposite. Anything my first did during this time, the second one is exactly opposite. Like the potty training, exactly opposite. The food, exactly opposite. The clothes she likes, exactly opposite. The only thing that they are the exact same on is how much they weighed when they were born. They weighed the exact same.
Oh, that's
their curls are even different. Like their body types even, they are so different. So it's not, oh, I got to figure it out.
Takedown, by the way.
Oh yeah, that baby.
Let me tell you.
She loves her jiu-jitsu. She can take you down.
She did some great takedowns.
Well, that's Big Frida. Big Frida, the half of it is her weight. That's my girl. That is my girl. But no, they're just different. So no matter how many kids you have, no kid is exactly the same in my opinion. So it's like, it's not easy whether you have 1, 2, or 3. It's especially not easy if you got more than 2. But it's just not easy. But you're doing a great job. We all are.
I'm trying. Yes, we all are.
I think you can't tell me I ain't doing a good job.
I think you are. No, I think you're an amazing mom. I think you both are really great parents. And I mean, that's reflective within your children, like just being around them and seeing how the two of you interact with them. It's different and yet it's so cohesive, which I enjoy being around. I think as parents, you want to definitely make sure that you're around positivity when it comes to other parents and how they're parenting because you're thinking of how that's influencing your child.
Birds of a feather.
Yeah, most definitely. So yeah, I think that is. But let me tell you, mommy needs a break sometimes, okay? And I was just thinking to myself that I need to get a massage, right? I was like, then we talked about doing like a spa day before and I was just like, I need one. And then it made me think about you and I having that conversation before about male masseuse.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, tell me.
I have my first male masseuse. So I've never had a man before. Like anytime I got a massage, like I think if there was one time I was asked, do you want a female or a male? But it was like, no, I want a woman. I'm in there by myself. I'm like, no. But the one time I made an appointment when I first moved to Austin, I went to this place, made the appointment, and they didn't ask me. They selected for me. And so they gave me this man. And I also did cupping for the first time. So I did that, and he was there. And so it was the best massage of my life.
No way. Are you kidding me?
So good. It hit every pressure point, every pressure point in my body, and then the amount of pressure he used was amazing. I'm laying on that table like, this has got to be cheating. Like, there's no way in the world that I am not cheating on my husband in this moment, because when I say, I was like, you know what? I may just have to sign up for a membership. What's that?
Mine was the complete opposite.
Oh, shit.
Mine was like, this has got to be me too. So I was just like, so I always ask for female masseuse, and I know that's how it was for me. It was not a pleasant experience.
So it was not a happy ending.
It was not a happy ending for me. Okay, I didn't even get a Happy Meal. I went. It was me and my sister, and we were going on vacation together, and we were in Miami. So we were going to go on a cruise. So we were leaving out of Miami. So I think we drove down to Miami from Atlanta at the time. And so we were there a day early, of course, right? It's always best to get there a day early when you're going on a cruise. So she was like, yeah, let's kind of relax. We got our, mani-pedis. And then she's like, oh, I set up some massages for us just really quickly. I think it was like one of the franchise massage places for memberships. And I was like, okay, cool. So when we got there, she was like, yes, but it was when I think she told me when we got there. She was like, oh, but all they had available were male masseuse. And I was just like, I wasn't even with anyone at the time, I don't believe. But I was just like, I'm not with that.
Comfortable,
I was like, I'm
naked on this table.
Yes.
My reason exactly. Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm not too comfortable. And especially because I didn't choose it. So anyways, I did it. Girl, I was just like clenched up the entire time.
You couldn't even relax.
Yeah, but the worst part is that he kept rubbing his shit on my fucking arm and my leg, or like getting close to my hand.
Tall.
Well, no, because you're on a table, right? So
okay,
then
did they have the table low?
Maybe it was a little bit lower. I don't know, but it kept fucking rubbing on my hand and my arm and shit. And I'm just like, this shit is getting uncomfortable.
Did you say something? Did you say, yo, bruh?
No, I didn't, because I'm one of those people who say things afterwards and do like the movie White Chicks, where it's just like, I'm gonna write a letter, I'm gonna write an email kind of a situation and share my thoughts afterwards. You don't want me writing. And so I was just like, this is so uncomfortable. And he's like, nice. I was like, most of my tension's just here, sir. I was just like, no, I don't need anything on my legs. I was just my ankles.
Yeah, because you're paying for a service and you're feeling uncomfortable.
My sister had paid for it.
I don't care who's paying for it.
It was the worst. Girl, I felt like it was a Me Too situation. I was just like, ugh. And it was just like rubbing on me. I was like, what the fuck? Like, the last thing I want to do is somebody.
Did it at least feel good?
No. Oh, the massage. I don't even know, because I think I was just so bogged down in my mind, like thinking about like this guy's piece is rubbing on my arm to my hand.
He had to have felt that.
Of course he knows that.
He had to have felt that.
It was Miami. Maybe he thought, hey, you want to get
Maybe that was his way of like, hey, I'm down for it if you're down for it.
And I'm like, I'm not fucking down, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Yikes.
I'm not throwing down on that shit. It wasn't even attractive. It would be different if it was a Fabio type of situation, right? If it was Henry Cavill, then it would be a different story.
Here we go. We're back to that.
Yes, we are. Our interests. Then it would be a different story. Still, I don't think I want someone rubbing. I think it's because, you want to know why? And then I'll wrap it up, I promise. I'm someone who doesn't enjoy male exotic dancers either. Like, I would prefer to go see women exotic dancers versus men. Like, I don't want someone gyrating and just like
penis just flopping in your face.
Flicking their socks at me like this. Literally. And I'm like, with some sneakers on like this kind of a thing. And I'm just like, I'm okay. Sir, please don't. I'm okay. Like, that's what I want you to hear.
No, I didn't even have like a male stripper or anything for my batch party or any of that. It's like, I've never had the desire to see like a male stripper. Like, I've never even seen the movie Magic Mike's. I haven't seen Magic Mike's. I haven't seen any of the Magic Mike's. Like, have you seen them?
I've seen one or two of them. I haven't seen. Well,
does it make it look like? Oh, I would love to see that in person.
Absolutely not. Not for me, but I'm sure for a lot of women who enjoy that, maybe, right? But for me, I just don't. Where it's just like I don't want a man like sitting on me on my lap, and I'm just
You're not the sexy one.
Because I'm thinking like booty sweat is what I'm smelling. Ooh. I'm thinking they have shaved balls, and I think I've told you about that before. Is that I don't do
They have
people.
shaved balls like a naked mole rat?
Well, you have to shave your balls. No one wants to see some hairy fucking balls. What kind of shit is that?
I don't know. I didn't even think about it.
Well,
It's just like,
about-
wow,
you
that's
want
not big.
you want a bush and
It's not something I thought about, Shayna.
you want this? No.
I'm not talking to you
I'm just
anymore.
saying. So no, and I already told
This
you
is
how
our
I
last
feel about
episode.
men with no hair. I prefer men who are hairy.
You like hairy men.
I like hairy men because I
Yeah.
come from a hairy family. You know, I'm a hairy woman who has to take care of that
Mm-hmm.
kind of situation. So I always had this thing. I got to have somebody who's hairier than me. So if I'm ever like, I want to go free, it's just like, you can't talk about me, bro. Have you seen yourself?
Also, you really don't like the naked mole rat balls. You talk about who wants to see hair. You want to see hair.
No.
I cannot date a man with a hairy chest. I can't. Like, you have to look.
Oh, I want to
like,
comb my hands through that
No,
shit.
I don't want to
Yes.
see it. Like, if
I mean, it
man
needs to be
grows a hair on there, I'm plucking that shit right off. I
Oh,
like
gosh, no.
bare chest. I like bare
No.
chest. Like, Matt can't grow a beard, and I'm all for it.
No.
All for it.
No, you know how I prefer for
Yes, I know.
my
Nice
men
and
to
just-
look. Yes, I mean, it needs to be full
Full.
on. Full on. Okay? It needs to look exotic full on, if you get where I'm going.
Yes, I get exactly what you're going. I
do
know.
enjoy that. Mhm.
I know. Won't you tell the people?
Yes, I do. And as soon as I can run my fingers through that winter coat, it's just right until it's
Jesus.
everywhere. And then it's not so hot. So how do you guys feel about it? There's a few things that we talked about that some key takeaways for me, right, is
The hairy man.
the hairy man, because that's the last
Versus
thing we
the
chatted about, right? Like, what's your preference?
squeaky
Do you
clean
prefer
chest.
a squeaky clean Magic Mike?
Woo, 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 woo.
Or do you prefer Azamad from
A caveman.
Borat kind of thing? Oh, I love a good caveman.
I guess.
Do you
Squeaky
like a
clean.
bear like I do, right? A good Canadian bear.
Or do you like them bare, B-A-R-E, like I do?
Ooh, do you like a
Let's
bear
see.
or a bear?
Do you want a bear
yes,
or bear?
let us know.
And then also, I want to hear from you guys as well about the masseuse. Do you like male masseuse? Do you want a female masseuse? Like, what
What's your
is
preference?
your preference there on that one? So let us know. Comment below. Follow us on Instagram. Let us know what you guys are all into.
And don't forget to subscribe as well. And stay tuned for next week. We've got some really great topics that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about your favorite, which is the difference of being friendly and nice.
Yes, because I'm friendly, I'm not necessarily nice.
And then also, I changed my name for 6 weeks when I was in college, as well as I changed the spelling of my name when I was in elementary school until someone ratted me out.
I'm definitely interested in that story.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening.